Okay, so Eric, hi again.
Hello.
So, you just took a, what, 45-minute nap?
I have no idea.
I think it was about 45 minutes. So how do you feel right now?
I feel insanely relaxed. I have no memory of being relaxed.
You don't have any memory of being relaxed?
Not in recent memory, no, I haven't relaxed at all. And yeah, I just feel like I could breathe
Deeply?
or I haven't had any deep breaths for quite some time, and wanted, fighted desperately for them, and I can't get any deep breaths. But now I feel like I'm relaxed, and I'm not all a physical mess that I had no control over. Yeah, that's my biggest problem, was that I couldn't control my. When you can't take a deep breath, that's pretty disturbing for weeks and months, and yeah, that I just was able to fall asleep really, really easy, which is almost unheard of anymore, and yeah, that I'm not, and I don't feel like I'm in a state of absolute panic.
Yeah.
You know, which is my general state of being lately, that I'm in panic and I don't know how to get out. A state of panic. And my heart still hurts. But
I'll get better too.
yeah, and that I'm so soaked in sweat. I apologize. I wish I had changes of shirts here, but I didn't bring any. But
that's okay.
yeah, I'm just a very calm feeling compared to recent memory. And I have no idea how you came to make me feel calm.
Oh, it's a homeopathic remedy.
Just some grains of sand, or whatever that was.
The sugar
5
pills.
grains of sand. But yeah, that was remarkably effective. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm
You're
very I thank you.
You're so welcome. It's an honor.
At your whimsy, whatever it is you wish to do, I would do that, because that's just, nobody's done anything, you know. So that
I'm so glad
you've done something at all is amazing. And yeah, the people I go to get stuff done can't do anything, and so then I just go home. And yeah, and you know, you can tell them your symptoms, and they can observe your symptoms, but I don't think maybe they know what to do. You know, they're stuck, I'm stuck, and so I just go home.
But they just don't have the right tools for everyone, that's all.
Yeah, I appreciate what it is you gave me, and
I gave you homeopathic Helleborus.
Helleborus.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right there.
That's the tiniest bottle.
Yeah, it's called Helleborus.
Helleborus.
Yeah, it's specifically for head traumas, concussion, but not everyone with concussion needs this. You have to totally fit the picture. So all your symptoms, or I would say majority of your symptoms, head to toe, physical, psychological, emotional, they matched this remedy Helleborus. I would say by far it was a really good match. I can't say it was a 100% perfect match, but it was nearly perfect. It was nearly a perfect match. So
what was wrong?
Basically, you were stuck in a state called Helleborus. And I know that sounds odd to you and whoever is watching this video, but
I've heard of this word.
I know. Well, in homeopathy, there are different states that we can get into due to stress, any kind of stress, life. You get into certain states, and you were, I would say, in a state called Helleborus, a constitutional state. So, whatever state you're stuck in, you take the remedy that's for that state. So you were in Helleborus, you took the remedy Helleborus, and it seems like it's bringing you out of that state very, very nicely, effectively, rapidly. I mean, literally, I think you took the remedy about an hour ago, or maybe an hour and a half ago, and already I don't see any shakes. Your disposition is entirely changed. You're sitting up better, and you're actually able to concentrate, focus, listen. I mean, It's night and day different. So I know it sounds unbelievable, but that's all we did. I just found your state, gave you the remedy that matches it. So the reason other doctors weren't able to help you is not because of anything other than they just didn't have this tool. They didn't have homeopathy in their toolbox. And I'm sure they wish they could have been of help to you. They just didn't have the right tool. And I wouldn't have had the right tool either if I didn't know homeopathy. So that it's that simple. You just need a Helleborus.
I'm in a state.
You're in a state called Helleborus. Now you're not going to be stuck in that state forever.
You're in a mental state?
Mental, emotional, and physical.
Okay.
All your symptoms, mental, physical, and emotional. All.
They seem to have blended. That's what I thought. Like my head,
yeah.
The hurt head, the pain of my migraine, and the confused thoughts,
yeah.
After a couple of months, blended into some one thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't describe what it was, but I knew they weren't separate anymore.
No, it's just one entity.
It was one thing that was wrong with me.
Yes, that one thing was Helleborus. You were stuck in Helleborus.
I stared at it all the time, thinking
Yeah.
about it, but I couldn't place it,
Right.
There's no function I could perform to reduce it, so I would just live in it, thinking I would wait it out.
I know. No, you can't. I don't.
I couldn't wait it out. It would just eat me up.
You've had a constant headache for 3 months.
Yeah.
And you were in a very confused, overwhelmed state. How much longer would you have to stay in it to maybe hopefully go away? God knows. I honestly, I'm not very hopeful. I don't know what would have happened without the remedy, honestly. I don't.
Yeah, I think I would just self-destruct one day. I'd have a heart attack. It's what I thought. I had premonitions all the time that I would have heart attacks because I think my brain was saying that's the way out.
Yeah, and that's another symptom of Helleborus people. They feel like they have heart disease. They feel like there's something majorly wrong with their heart. And there may be, but that feeling is a part of Helleborus.
Right.
All your feelings, emotions, thoughts, physical symptoms, they all match Helleborus. So I'm laughing out of joy because I can't believe in an hour and a half you've changed so much. This is beautiful. You're so welcome. It's truly an honor. It really is. I just can't even believe it.
I'm so glad Nancy told me to come over here.
Yeah, Dr. Nancy is good.
I didn't know you existed, and I didn't think there was anything anybody could do.
I know. That hopelessness, this state of despair and hopelessness. Of course, a lot of people can feel that way, but
Yeah.
that is a part of Helleborus also. Just everything you said, to the T. Now the question is, how will you stay in the state Helleborus indefinitely? Absolutely not. If the remedy continues to work well, if we let the remedy work without interfering with it with various things, which I'm going to cover in a few minutes, then you're going to come out of that state and enter, God willing, your true, innate, God-given state, which I believe is pulsatilla. That's a nice place to be. That's a nice state to be in. So.
I used to be pretty nice.
I know you're a very nice guy. You are still a wonderful guy.
Oh.
But see, the pain is so overwhelming. The state you've been in is so overwhelming. You have not been in pulsatilla. You have not been in a state of pulsatilla. That state ever since the accident. Potentially even from the first accident, but certainly since the second accident, you've been stuck in this Helleborus state. But again, the remedy is going to bring you out of that state, and you're going to enter a new state called pulsatilla. It's possible you'll do this transition quickly. We'll see. We'll just have to see how long.
Few grains of
that remedy, Helleborus.
What it was, Helleborus.
Yeah. It's
Is it a plant?
Helleborus is I'll tell you all about it in a few minutes once we stop the video. Yeah. So, let's see. Is there anything else we can say on the video before I stop it?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Is there any way I can see your eyes on the camera here? Just want to see if we can capture your eyes after the remedy.
Are my eyes bad?
They didn't. The stare in your eyes wasn't healthy. It seemed stressed. Your eyes seem extremely stressed, understandably so. But now they seem much calmer. So you definitely weren't smiling before. Yeah, this is your real self, isn't it, Eric? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I just can't believe this. It would be so impossible to see the real you when you were in that state. Now I can see you better.
I was like destroyed and a monster at the same time.
You were just in a bad state. It was a really bad state.
I was not someone to be near. I would just be a spectacle. So I just wanted to not be near anyone.
I can't believe your eyes. Do you mind looking at the skin of my finger right here? Yeah, just unbelievable. Your eyes don't look stressed. Your body is not shaking, and you're not weeping, and you're holding your head up. Your head was constantly bent forward. You're not doing any of that.
Not really fully aware of all those details.
Yeah. How is the headache right now? Because you said you had a constant headache for 3 months.
Yeah, I faded out paying attention to it a while ago. It just was so endless.
Is it even present now, or is it gone?
I don't know. I feel kind of giddy. I can't really say as I'm the best judge right now.
You're not in pain. I mean,
it does. Yeah, the head feels way better. It does. I can't. You
can't even. Can you say you even have any pain right now? Can you?
Well, I feel incredibly relaxed, and I think the reason I was never able to relax was because the pain was so intense that I couldn't shudder
shut it
the
off.
pain behind something, and be happy in front of that thing. So it would just take over. So I feel much more in control of. I think there's a very good chance that my headache is much better. I'll have to wait and see, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Sure, it seems almost hard to believe, doesn't it?
I couldn't say that would be,
sure.
like a miracle to claim.
I know.
But 3 months of an endless migraine that never goes away no matter what you do, and suddenly it just be somebody like snap their fingers and it's gone. That's improbable.
I know. It just doesn't seem very likely. I know.
So yeah, I mean.
What about that sensation in your head? You felt like your head was like styrofoam or cardboard. Is that sensation still present? You said your brain felt like
I feel a relaxed feeling, like I can breathe and that my thoughts aren't ruined. I don't know, like my brain can breathe.
Breathe.
My brain can breathe.
You can feel your brain now.
Yeah, like
you couldn't. You said you couldn't feel your brain this morning.
No, it's just a place that I couldn't access. It's like it was blocked off from being able to be used like I've always used it. Quickly and readily and happily, and reveled in my brain. I loved my brain, and how well it worked. So that it had been given a new way to be, like. It wasn't up to me anymore. It was just kind of mad and broken and shutting various activities down that I would gladly use it for, and controlling my body. It's something I don't really will it to do. It just does on its own, and it seemed all like it was refusing. And I was no longer the master of my brain. Like I'm insane. I thought I was insane. And who fixes that? Nobody fixes insane people. They just house them, I think. So, that I was slipping into insanity was pretty much a bother for me to realize, and that I couldn't help myself, and nobody could help me. So, I'm not so nervous and anxiety riddled about my brain being out of function. It's lost its function. So I am amazed that I'm calm as I am, and thinking much clearer.
Yeah, thinking much clearer. I know it's totally apparent just on your face.
Not really understanding what you just did.
Oh, I didn't do anything. The remedy is just.
No, what you just did.
Yeah, the remedy, Helleborus, is bringing you out of that state. That's all that we're doing. The credit goes to the medicine. The medicine was just your medicine. Imagine if someone had a severe infection, they were dying, and you gave them antibiotics, the right antibiotic, and you just cured the infection. One could say that's miraculous, right? I mean, it really was. Antibiotics were miraculous when they first came were invented.
Penicillin.
Yeah,
Joseph
penicillin.
Salk.
Exactly. So people thought that was just a miraculous treatment, and it is, right?
Orange mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the same thing. It's just that you never heard of it. That's all.
I have no experience with anything other than regular medicine.
Conventional
I've never tried
medicine,
to
yeah.
be a homeopathic user of any kind.
Yeah, I know.
It's just bizarre.
I know. This is just like that. When antibiotic came up, they still continue to save lives. Homeopathy does the same thing. It's just as beautiful, except that it's not quite as known, I guess, especially in North America.
Like a mystery.
It's a mystery, but Europeans use it widely, so it's unfortunate we don't use it more often. It truly is, as you can be a testimony to. It's totally unfortunate.
Yeah. The worst thing I feel right now is soaked in sweat that I didn't bring.
You just need a new shirt.
I didn't bring a shirt in. This is my third shirt today, and
we just don't sell t-shirts at our dispensary. That's the only problem. What about your jaw movements? I don't see you moving your jaws in any way.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have the uncontrollable mouth. Yeah, which was very. And I was biting my tongue a lot. And, I'm totally embarrassed when things would get really rough. If somebody was talking to me about something really rough, I would just chew and randomly do really large jaw movements, and I couldn't control it, and I felt like a nut,
Yeah.
And I was at the whimsy of my nerves. It seemed like I was just a nervous wreck that would move my jaw at will, and so it's nuts. I couldn't really feel good about that in front of somebody, that my jaw would move it around. They'd think, "What are you doing? Why are you moving your jaw like that?"
That was.
So.
That was another part of Helleborus. Helleborus, people who have, let's say, suffer a concussion, they get stuck in this Helleborus state. They can have those uncontrollable jaw movements. That's a part of Helleborus. Of course, you can suffer concussion and not become Helleborus. Any constitution can suffer concussion, and you can end up with 100 different remedies for concussion. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes homeopathy difficult. 100 people can get into car accidents, and every single one of them could end up with a different remedy, really, theoretically. So in homeopathy, usually we don't have a remedy for a disease. We have a remedy for the person, the patient. It has to be individualized.
Symptoms per person.
Yeah, it's like the remedy has to match you, not your complaint, which a complaint is concussion. Now, it just so happens that the state you were in, Helleborus, is a very common remedy for concussion. It just so happens. But you could have not been Helleborus. Your remedy could have been something else. Could have easily been something else. It just happened to be one of the most common remedies, homeopathic remedies given for concussion. So it was actually very easy for me to figure out the remedy, because it's a very common remedy for concussion. So really, any homeopath should have been able to help you. It's not just like me. It's like any homeopath could have done it.
It's very humble of you to say.
No, I mean it. Because it wasn't an unknown remedy.
Right.
Helleborus is a very common remedy for concussion. So it really doesn't take a genius to know the remedy. Any homeopath with some experience should have been able to detect that that's the state you're stuck in. And really, I just read it I went by the book.
Somebody who's in a concussion has what's wrong with me. He's a Helleborus guy.
Hello, yeah, you were a Helleborus man. Here, see right here. It says mental dullness, mind is slow, memory is weak, mind is completely blank or can go blank at times, concentration is difficult, guilty feelings, remorse, depression, apathy, indifference, anguished state, cannot comprehend what is happening, begs for help, unfortunately.
Something I did.
Yeah, wild, whirling sensation in the brain, must concentrate continuously on his activity in order to, get
Then
it
I
done.
looked totally crazy too, and
Yeah,
I would concentrate so hard to do something, I would look nuts.
Yeah, I'm reading out of the desktop guide by Dr. Roger Morrison, MD, medical doctor. So headache with stupefaction. Headache.
Yeah, like I have no idea how to do anything. I'm totally at a loss.
That's it. Rolling of the head, fearful, staring, vacant look. You didn't have much of a vacant look, but there was a certain look to your eyes that was definitely unusual.
Sorry.
That's okay. Shakes his head to dispel the wild sensation inside. Rubs the forehead when attempting to concentrate. Head injury with mental dullness and confusion, concussion. Brow furrowed. You were like that, frowning.
Right.
That frowning is a part of Helleborus. Wrinkled forehead, your forehead was all,
Was it
remember,
wrinkled?
you were like this, like really.
Don't recall.
Yeah, you were
It
like
was
this.
wrinkled?
Yeah, wrinkled, your forehead was wrinkled and your eyebrows were definitely frowning. So the brow furrowed. I believe that's what they were saying.
Yeah, I assumed that.
And then,
textbook.
and then as far as the extremities, it says that there's a certain awkwardness to the extremities, and there was to the way you're moving your legs and arms, especially your upper extremities, was definitely, there was an awkwardness to them. Like you couldn't stop moving them, shaking them for one thing, but there was definitely an awkwardness, especially if he takes his mind from what he's doing, even to speak. That's a part
That's
of that.
when I would get the worst, is when people would engage me in conversation.
Uh-huh.
And then they just totally go off the deep end. You know, if I could stay silent or by myself, I seemed to be able to get some sort of semblance of existence I could handle. But as soon as people would talk to me or ask me questions, I would crumble.
Would your extremities move more too?
Yeah, I would
When
become
you were-
crazy, full of bizarro movements and
When you
rubbing,
were trying to concentrate.
trying to come up with what
So-
to say.
Okay, so that's a part of Helleborus. And then involuntary movements. Involuntary movements is another part of it, of course.
Right.
So you see how this totally everything matches?
Helleborus.
Helleborus, and actually there's more. There are different homeopathic books.
Could you just write that on a card?
Yeah, I'll write it for
Oh,
you.
you write it? Okay. Helleborus.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna do one thing here too.
I'm sorry, I'm so smelly. I sweated up a storm.
I'm not detecting that.
Okay,
so don't worry.
good.
Don't worry.
And just try to keep that at a minimum.
Yeah.
Other people have to deal with.
No, you really don't. So here we go. It says, this is like some other notes I'm reading from some class notes. They feel this sensation in the head leads to anxiety, despair, depression, and a state where you just feel like, forgive me for saying this is just for the students that might be watching this. There's a state of poor me, which of course they feel, rightfully so they feel like poor me. Why you? Why should you be stuck in that state?
Right.
So there's a state of poor me because they feel terribly desperate.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I felt that way. I didn't want to say it to anybody because, yeah, then you're asking pity.
Yeah, but you rightfully
I
were.
felt like,
Right.
dang, give me some help here,
Yeah.
or treat me with kid gloves or something like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
Yeah.
really expect the world to
Right.
go that deeply into your personal problems.
Right. And this despair, according to one of my teachers here, it leads to a desire to want to break out of the despair state that you were stuck in. So you just wanted to, you'd want to do anything to break out of it, of course.
I was just gonna leave. That's my whole plan, to leave my whole family and everything and just
Yeah.
go live on side of the road in a car somewhere.
Yeah.
That was my plan.
Really.
Yep.
It's terrible. Can't believe it. So all you needed was this remedy.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine people living with me. I just couldn't bear watching them see me this way,
Yeah.
deal with me this way, so I just thought, best solution is to just slip away, and that was my plan. I just hadn't quite realized it yet, but I didn't really have a good plan past that. Like, I would just, disappear. That was my solution for everybody around me, was to have me disappear. And that would take care of it in a way. They would, for their problem with me, that's done. That's, they would maybe remember me, but they wouldn't see me every day or, deal with me and think, what's wrong with him? What a burden, what a bother. And so I think that was the clearest I could think. That was the best thing I could do. Than to stay put and suffer for everybody to watch. I would just disappear and sit in some car on the side of the road.
The universe had a different plan for you. God had a different plan for you.
Yeah, it was probably a bad plan that I came up with,
Well, you were
but all I
desperate.
could think of was that, everything else was a failure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the worst, when everything else is a failure. You gotta have something.
No, I understand. No, I can understand that.
It's kind of a dumb, desperate thought process.
Honestly, when people are desperate, they come up with all these different solutions. I would never judge it. I would never judge it. It's just, that's what you came up with.
you know,
Um,
stuck. I guess I was just mentally
totally.
at my wit's end, and I had nowhere else to go but to come up with a plan that dumb,
Well,
you know.
no, not just, it's like, just for the students, a lot of doctors, a lot of natural medicine doctors might have thought about the idea of giving you arnica. That's a very internationally known famous remedy for traumas, for any kind of trauma. Arnica, homeopathic arnica.
Okay.
And I actually thought about that when I first saw you, because you talked about concussion after injury, and you had 3 months ago, and you had had another concussion 19 years ago. So I thought, my immediate guess was maybe arnica. But the more we talked, of course, the more I realized, no, I don't think you're stuck in the arnica state, which is, maybe it's got some things in common with the helleborus state. But the more we talked, I realized you're in helleborus.
Thank you for being so knowledgeable.
Well, I owe it to all my teachers.
Well, you're a smart student.
Dr. Paul Herskew and his wife, Dr. Amy Rothenberg, and some other great homeopaths have taught me. So I learned helleborus through basically these two wonderful doctors and their school, their program. They have a whole homeopathic school.
I surely like the homeopathic method.
Yeah,
You know,
I hope you do.
I've never experienced it except a couple hours ago walking in your door, and
Yeah. You look
wow,
like,
I'm just so thankful.
yeah, you look like a different person. You really do, Eric. I can't even believe you. This is the most profound case. Now, see, because you're in such a desperate state, the remedy, it looks as if, it's almost as if it's a miracle that's happened. Because you were in such a desperate state. If you're like a healthier version of you, let's say, hopefully from now on you're going to be that, and you have just a basic headache or regular basic complaints, homeopathy can also help you. And it may not be quite as impressive because it's not hard to get rid of a mild headache. But it seems miraculous because your headache was so severe, continuous for 3 months post-trauma, and all the other symptoms that went with it. So that's why it seems miraculous, because you just had too many things on your plate. But homeopathy it's always like this. Symptoms just disappear in front of our own eyes with the patient and me in the same room. They just disappear, like in 10, 20, 30, half an hour. And so it really is unfortunate the public doesn't know about homeopathy. So,
yeah,
anyway.
I would agree. I would have liked that within a day or two of my accident. That would have been great.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to suffer this much.
Yeah, I just gotta go try to put myself back up, you know.
Yeah. Now, as far as your what remedy you're going to be next after helleborus, I mentioned pulsatilla. We have to just wait on that for now, though. I mean, it's like something that I have to take your case again in a few weeks. So I'm going to stop the video. Do you have anything else to add? Any other new symptoms?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's an honor.